Hey guys, Chris here, founder of Rooted Music. Guys, at Rooted, our goal is to help you learn to play the music that you love by coaching you on the why and not just the what. And we're going to do just that in today's tutorial. But before we do, I'd love for you to subscribe to this channel here so you don't miss out on any of the new worship tutorials that we have for you. And I'd also love for you to check out the links in the description of this video where you can download our chord chart to this song for free, and also where you can learn more worship songs just like this for just $1 for the first 30 days. Check out those links and let's go ahead and dive into the video.
Hey everyone, my name is Shane Cole, and I'm excited today to jump into another bass tutorial with Rooted. So we're going to talk about Cody Carnes' Run to the Father. Let's jump in. So we're going to be referring to some charts that you can find below this video. We have some in numbers, the Nashville number system, and we have some that have the actual chord letter of the original version of the song. So it's in the key of C, and just a quick review of the key of C. If you're thinking about piano, there's no sharps or flats. So you'd go C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then you're back to C. So if you hear me say one chord or play a one, that would just be in the key of C, that would be a C. If you hear me talk about a 2, that's a D. If you hear me talk about a 3, that's an E. If you hear me talk about a 4, that's an F. 5 is a G. 6 is an A. And a 7 is a B. And then you're back after 7, you're back to 1 on C. So I just played that all on the A string. You could also, if you knew like your major scale shapes, you can find it like this. Or you could play it here. And then also, I would recommend that you get familiar with some of these notes up here as well. So yeah, and the arrangement of this song is super simple. We've got verses, we've got choruses, and we've got a refrain, and we have a bridge. And another thing before we get into the arrangement and stuff, when you hear this song, you're going to hear, you'll probably notice it's a bass synth. So it was probably played on a keyboard, and it's these really long, huge, sustained notes, which is super cool. But playing this song on bass guitar is super fun, and I think that's pretty applicable to a lot of our routines. We probably play bass guitar at our church, and so I want to talk about how I would approach it on a stringed bass guitar like this instead of on a keyboard. So I won't mention much about the intro, verse 1 or verse 2, because the bass doesn't come in yet. So as you're listening to this song, you'll hear intro, verse 1, verse 2, chorus, refrain. The refrain is the O section. So I'll just start at verse 3 where we first come in. So it's long, round notes, and this song is in 6/8. So that means a quantity of 6/8 notes. So every measure, every bar is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That would have been 2 bars. So you'll kind of count it that way in your head. And on the verses, these on verse 3, the changes, like there will be a 1 chord, but it'll be for an entire bar. So you'll play a 1 chord and let it ring for 6/8 notes. So super simple changes. We have a 1 and then a 2, 6, and a 4. That happens twice on verse 3. Happens again at the beginning of verse 4. And then at the end of verse 4, all that's going to happen is between that 6 chord and that 4 chord, you're going to pass by on a 5 chord. So I'll play both verses for you. So, and just to refresh your memory, if you're still kind of working on translating numbers into actual notes, that's 1, 2, 6, 4 would be a C, D, A, F. And then that passing 5 chord at the end of verse 4 is going to be a G. Okay? So it feels somewhat like this. So you'll do that twice for verse 3, and then here's all of verse 4. and then we'll be at the chorus. So before we move to the chorus, use this to taste. So again, you'll hear the synth bass and it stays pretty low. If you're on bass guitar, one of the things I love to do just to create texture and create cool moments is instead of just staying in this, what's usually most comfortable for players is like this region of the fretboard here. But don't be scared to come up here and play, you know, notes on the D string. Maybe you roll your tone back, something like that, just to mellow out the sound, just so we're not kind of giving away all of our energy at once, because we want to save some of it as the song builds. So, you know, you can stay low like that, like I did as that example, but, you know, be familiar enough with your fretboard that if you wanted to come in way high on the A string, you could. So maybe you'd come in like this, so on and so forth. So let's talk about the chorus. I would play this with a little more intensity, a little more velocity, but it's the same notes as the verse. Except there's no passing 5 chord. So C, D, A, F, 1, 2, 6, 4. And they change the same way. So each chord's played for a measure. And the refrain that happens after that, continue to build a little bit of intensity there, play a little harder maybe. And same changes that I mentioned for the chorus. So similar to the verses, just no passing 5 chord. So I won't even play that since we played it for the verse, but I do want to mention one thing. Over the refrain, you will hear the synth bass jump octaves, and I like to kind of emulate that on bass. And so what I'll do is I like the mid range on the E string and the A string. It's just like this fat low mid. So I could go, if I wanted to halfway through the measure slide from a low C to a high C. I could do it here and do the same thing over the D chord, the 2 chord. And then A chord would sound like this. And then F chord. So all that's great. Now you could do it there, or you could also do it on the E and A strings. So you would slide from C to C here. D to D here. And then you saw the A and the F. So you'll see us on the play down. You'll see me do that. I'll slide between the notes just to kind of emulate that synth bass thing. Okay, so let's talk about the bridge. The chords change a little more dramatically for the first time in the song here. So you'll hear the bridge come in. The bass is going to not play for 8 bars. So you'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 times, okay? The bridge will repeat. On the chart, you'll see bridge 2 is what they call it. And the chords are 6, 4, 1/3, 5. And that happens twice. And let's talk about 1/3 real quick. These are known as 1/3. These are known as slash chords. So what that means is someone in the band, ideally guitars and keys, is playing a 1 in a higher region, but the bassy stuff is going to play a 3 in the lower region. So in the key of C, that would be a C/E. And so for us, typically that would be an E. We'll play an E if you see 1/3 in the key of C. So those chords, 6, 4, 1/3, 5, that's going to be A, F, C over E. So we'll play an E and then G. And we'll do it twice for the bridge. So it sounds like this. And then what I like to do on bass guitar is I like to go to 8th notes. So I'm going to play those chords again just with straight 8th notes. And then we'll jump right back into the chorus. And we've talked about those changes. So what happens now is 2 more choruses and a refrain. And then what I'll do to get out of the refrain into the outro is I'm just going to play a 1 chord. I'm going to play a C. And I'm just going to kind of let it ring. But there are some changes there. So I'm going to let it ring, but I'm going to try to just gently mute so that it's not a really drastic cut off and you like lose all this low end sound.
Guys, thanks so much for joining us today in this tutorial. I hope you really enjoyed it and learned a lot through it. Make sure to subscribe to our channel here so you don't miss any of the new tutorials we have coming up. And make sure to check out those links in the description of this video so you don't miss out on the chord chart and you don't miss out on more and more worship song coaching for just $1 for the first 30 days. Check out those links and we'll see you soon.